the Urban Debate on Magicbricks Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. We're taking a look at the steel flyover in Bangalore. Stop the steel flyover. That's the cry coming in from citizens of this great city. 6,000 citizens came out into the roads this morning to voice their unhappiness about the state government's decision to build a flyover that will cost the city 1,800 crore rupees and 812 fully grown majestic trees that form the crown of the city of Bangalore. Somehow the state government adamantly insists on going forward with this plan to cut down our trees. At Magicbricks Now, we have not found one single voice, not one single voice. No engineers, no urban planners, no architects, no one supports this plan. We demand that the state government now acknowledge its citizens and roll back the plan to build this VVIP flyover that will only benefit those coming out of the Vidhan Soudha driving towards the airport. Stop the steel flyover. Take a look at the protest that happened this morning.
The protest against the proposed controversial steel flyover is gaining momentum with more than 2,000 citizens having assembled at 4 different points, that is Chalukya Circle near BDA office, as well as Kaveri Theatre and Mekhri Circle. In fact, they have just one demand from the Karnataka government. Now, what they are asking is that they don't want the steel flyover project to happen right here, which links from Basaveshwara Circle to Hebbal. Now, in fact, Chalukya Circle is reverberating with slogans like Beda Steel Flyover Beda. Now, what we also understand is that they are shouting slogans where 812 trees will be cut at the cost of this particular flyover. Now, what we also understand is that rupees 1,791 crores will be spent on this controversial steel project. In fact, prominent celebrities have also joined in this particular human chain, which has started from this Basaveshwara Circle, which will link to Hebbal flyover. Now, what we also understand is that social media is buzzing, in fact, with raging support from the citizens asking the government to stop this flyover. Now, also you can see that these citizens have gathered here just for one cause, that is asking the Karnataka government why the secrecy and what is the haste in fact coming up with this particular flyover here in Bengaluru. In Bengaluru, Sridhar for Magicbricks Now.
I have lived for 45 years in this city. I'll maybe live for another 20-30 years. But if we build it, I will make the city unlivable for my daughter who is 16. She will not live in Bangalore. She will go somewhere else.
It is not for the public, general public, it is for the very few people. Please look into it very carefully, have a big meeting, discuss it seriously, then put it into practice.
I want to save the trees for the future generation. In the name of development, if you cut down the trees and destroy the environment, whom are you doing this development for?
We got to change this mindset of these destructive authorities. They are thinking progress means investing large amounts of money, but that doesn't hold good for a small population. It's rather than public.
Stop the steel flyover. Today on Magicbricks Now in the Urban Debate, we stand with the citizens of Bangalore. We demand that the state government roll back their plan, redo their studies of environment impact, which was never done according to the state government, do another survey to find out whether the citizens of Bangalore actually want this. In fact, I demand just one thing. Bring me one voice, one single voice who believes this is a good idea. Any one person who can pick up the phone today and tell us that you believe it's a good idea for the state government to build this flyover in Bangalore. Anyone other than the government in Karnataka. Our phone numbers will be open. On the Urban Debate tonight, we ask, is the Bangalore VVIP steel flyover still required? The government needs to roll back its plan. On the show with me today, Dr. Naseer Hussain Spokesperson of the state government of Karnataka and the AICC, Sridhar Pabbisetty CEO of Namma Bengaluru Foundation that put the entire protest together, RK Mishra, member of the Technical Advisory Committee of both the BBMP and the BDA, Tanveer Ahmed National Spokesperson of the JDS, Prakash Belawadi, theatre and film personality who stood by the entire protest, Naresh V Narasimhan, one of the most prominent architects and the strongest voices in Bangalore standing against this flyover. I welcome all of you into this conversation right now. Mr. Naseer Hussain, I'll come to you first. Isn't this enough evidence? Isn't this enough evidence to go up against the 299 emails that the state government claims to have received? Shouldn't you now put the brakes on this plan and roll back the plan to build this flyover?
See, if you think that the 299 emails that were sent to the BDA or the project committee, where the voices of a very few people in Bengaluru city, and then there is a protest where you have 1,500 to 2,000 people according to you, and then you say that these 1,500 and 2,000 people represent the almost 1 crore population of Bengaluru city, then it's fine. But the government of the day, whether it is my government or somebody else, some other party's government, will go by what is needed for the Bengaluru city or what is needed for the state. The infrastructure development is done with a long-term planning. The infrastructure development is done with a lot of discussions, deliberations, consultations, and going through all the procedures that the government has laid down for
The
years.
Metropolitan Committee was not consulted. You've not done an environment study. Even if we want to assume that you don't want to take, Naseer Hussain, that you don't want to take these thousands of people on the street as evidence enough, just redo your impact study. Just redo your impact study, sir. There is no need to go ahead with this plan if your citizens obviously don't want it.
See, it started See, I'll tell you something. It started with trees, then it started with DPR, then they went to processes, then they said consultation, then they said the tendering process. Now you say that you redo the entire study. I think whatever the government is answering, you are coming up with something other. And yesterday, day before yesterday, when we were there on your debate, Mr. Pabbisetty asked for DPR, and the DPR is there in public domain now.
Is what we're looking at on our screens right now is enough evidence for me, Mr. Naseer Hussain, enough evidence for me that the citizens of Bangalore on a Sunday morning at 8 a.m. came out into the street in the thousands to tell you to stop, but that's obviously not enough evidence for you. I want to bring in the other voices. If you think that the citizens are not strong enough, let's bring in voices. I'll start with Naresh Narasimhan. Naresh Narasimhan, you've heard the arguments of the state government right now that you're just picking on development, and the state government believes in development, and it will go ahead in spite of what happened today. What is your response?
I think that's a very obstinate and obdurate stance. 8,000 people came on the street. What are they talking about? 299 responses. No, and not only that, we have been asking for the 299 responses to see what the people have they have replied, and they keep saying 73% have approved it. We are a city of 1.2 crore people. What is 299 responses? And today morning, we had 8,000 people on the road saying that we don't want it. And people from all walks of society came there today and said, don't destroy our environment. We don't want this project. I think the government should now take the voice of the people and cancel this project immediately.
Cancel the project immediately. R.K. Mishra, isn't this enough evidence for a state government? 8,000 people. We don't have the final numbers yet. It's between 6,000 and 8,000 people on the streets of Bangalore this morning, peacefully demanding that the government put the brakes on this project and roll it back entirely. I don't understand why we're still having this conversation. What are we still arguing about?
So I think this, of course, popular sentiment by people coming out and on the popular media as well as social media, people have been voicing their concerns. So I think there is a concern about this flyover, and concern is very genuine. But I have a little bit different take on this. This flyover, I've been part of the various government deliberations, both BBMP, BDA, now member of the Chief Minister's Vision Group. See, steel flyover conceived around 4-5 years ago. There was no concept of elevated corridors which Chief Minister himself has announced, and we have proposed, and it is being discussed and debated, and DPR is already ready with PWD, which is the Government of Karnataka department. 20 crore has been spent by the Government of Karnataka. I create that elevated corridor blueprint for whole of Bangalore, and it is a parallel alignment which goes via Mekhri Circle, TV Tower, Jai Mahal Road, Kent, and without cutting even 20 trees. Now the government, in whatever wisdom, has decided to, actually this steel flyover was dead because elevated corridors had come about, but suddenly the steel flyover was revived. Now for reason best known to the government and myself and Kiran Mazumdar Shah, in one meeting which chaired by Mr. George, Bangalore Development Minister, specifically for this reason, we had called that meeting and where we had objected. And we said this alignment going via the only artery which is available to people to go to KIL, doing any work on this road is strategically faulty, because something happens, your whole airport access is choked. Whereas Jai Mahal Road, Queens Road, and these are the low traffic roads, you can do work on that. Why not looking at this alignment? And Mr. George promised, yes, we will review it and BDA will come back. Unfortunately, there has been no meeting after that. Of course, Mr. George was no longer there. Now he has come back. I spoke to him 3 days ago and he said, yes, he will convene a meeting. I would suggest, unless BDA comes back and tells us why alternative alignments cannot be done, cutting off these 812 trees and creating, I think people are very upset about steel. Flyovers can be made of steel, can be made of concrete, can be made of anything, which is a different matter. And of course, flyovers of steel will be costly. Alignment is a major issue. 812 trees. And yesterday, actually, I drove back from Nandi Hills on that road. It is a delight to see these fully grown trees. And imagine 812 trees going, anybody will be upset. And I think government needs to seriously reconsider it. That's my recommendation. And I am working very closely with the minister and the other authorities to have a relook at it. And I hope they will do it.
You know, I just want to point out, and you're so right about the trees, and I think that as citizens of Bangalore, that's the thing that upsets us most. 812 fully grown trees, majestic trees in the city. This is the response that the state government has given the citizens. The BDA has already proposed to plant 60,000 numbers of ornamental plants in the place of the trees that will be removed in the project area. Ornamental plants. Whether that's 60,000 or 80,000 ornamental plants,
no.
which
Actually,
are tiny.
This is another.
How is that a solution?
Let me just come back. Let me just come back on that. This is again a very huge misnomer. You cut 20, 30, 50, 100-year-old trees and then say, I'm going to plant some ornamental shrubs, trees and all that. Of course, any tree is good, but these trees will take 10, 20, 30 years to come up, and no longer we can plant large trees because there is no space left. You are going to put ornamental trees. One big tree is equivalent to 200 ornamental trees. This is not going on. Okay, fine. You cut the trees in Bangalore and you plant the trees in Chikmagalur. How does it help? I think this argument is faulty. I agree that some trees will be cut. Now Banarghatta Road, even Kanakpura Road, metro is going. Some trees will have to be cut. We have no option, because if we don't cut the trees, there will be pollution by the non-public transport, cars and buses. Where it is absolutely essential, I think we have to be agreeable to cut the trees to the bare minimum. Please remember, in first 7 tender shore roads, not a single tree was cut. This was by design. We deliberately made sure the trees were not cut. Unfortunately, new consultant, which is handling 5 tender shore roads, Napatunga Road, Jayanagar and all that, they are cutting trees. There is no need to cut trees. All 7 tender shores roads in the heart of the city were done beautifully without cutting a single tree. I think there is a lack of sensitivity within the organization like BDA, where they don't realize cutting the tree is a mechanical process.
There's a lack of sensitivity, R.K. Mishra, in the state government at this point. There's a lack of sensitivity in the state government who cannot recognize the outpouring of anger from their citizens. Citizens who came out onto the street peacefully today, but it's something that is not being acknowledged. And I want to bring in the rest of the voices on this debate. Sridhar Pabbisetty, the kind of voices we saw come out onto the street, every Bangalorean was represented there. There is nothing more to be done than the Chief Minister to just stop.
Yeah, I think the government has put itself into an ivory tower and fails to see what is it that citizens are anguished about. Naseer Hussain earlier said that, he said as if putting the DPR in the public domain is a favor he has done to Sridhar Pabbisetty or Namma Bengaluru Foundation or the city of Bengaluru. He has not done any favor to us. He has a bloody obligation to put it in the public domain before the demand came over so angrily on the streets. What were they hiding behind? Why was the need for putting the DPR behind the iron curtains? What were they hiding? Is this a responsible government or an irresponsible government? Don't they have any accountability to the citizens of the city? Do they think they are in a monarchy? We have been repeatedly saying, please put the document in the public domain. At last they have put. Now let's come to the public consultation. What has been your effort to reach out to the people and say, yes, we have goofed up. We have made a bloody mistake by not putting this out in the RTI, by disclosing to citizens. There are people in the media, there are people in the civil society who have been trying to get this information for the last few months. And now that they have got, they will get a reply. They'll get a point-by-point reply in the next coming week after they have disclosed the DPR. The DPR, in one line, it's not even worth the print. It's not even worth to print it on a piece of paper. But we will get back to it in a little more while. Now let's come to the protest today. The citizens of Bengaluru have said we are against this project in a very, very soft Bengaluru way. Today, by coming and forming a human chain, 8,000 people turned up in the morning and they formed a human chain, did not disrupt any traffic flow, and that's the way Bengaluru has always been known. We are known as a garden city, we are known as a progressive city because this is what Bengaluru is. We are telling the government, you have made a mistake, now you got steel flyover bada, we don't need the steel flyover, scrap it. Nothing less will do. It's very, very important that the government realizes that not disclosing information, not having enough transparency, not doing public consultation, bypassing the due constitutional authorities are grave mistakes in a democracy. And I hope Mr. Naseer Hussain understands what is the mistake that they have done and doesn't say this as a favor that he has done to us by putting the DPR in the public domain. Why were they hiding all this long?
Prakash Belawadi joins us on the show as well. As a citizen of Bangalore, how angry are you right now, Prakash?
Actually, look, I feel very bored quickly with the TV debates. I want to say something very simple. We have no patience to do any debate on this. We want the government to cancel this. I counted the crowd, Naresh, myself and Bimal Desai, along with a few others. We walked up from Chalukya Circle to Mekhri Circle, and on the way back, we counted the people who were standing. We stopped asking them to spread their hands, spread because, hold hands and spread because there were so many people. We counted up to 1,370 up to the gate, where all these weddings happen. And then we realized that we had more than 6,000. And then somebody came, actually done the count and said it was close to 8,000. So I'm saying there were more than 8,000 people. It's not 299 people. And I think they should listen to us and just stop this. We don't want to debate this. We don't want to negotiate it. I think Sridhar Pabbisetty and other experts will give a point-by-point rebuttal on that case fit, as we call, crime reporters call, when you come to the conclusion and fit evidence to it. It's called case fit. That's what crime reporters call it. This is a case fit DPR. We have no respect for it, and we will not debate the DPR. We don't want it at all. But somebody will give a point-by-point rebuttal. One thing I want to say, Mr. Hussain, sir, with due respect, I'll tell you, this is not some long-term plan. That is really, sir, that's false, because in August 2018, the Congress party released a manifesto for the BBMP elections. There was no mention of this steel flyover. There was a 18,000 crore north-south, east-west elevated corridor project. There were 40 small flyovers at 40 junctions. There was a commuter rail promise. There was a monorail promise. None of that you have done anyway. But you suddenly in September, you were already floating tenders within a month for this steel flyover thing. We don't trust the government. We trust the chief minister, but we don't trust many of the people around him. We will not allow this as far as possible. We will hug the trees. We will not let you cut a single tree. And somebody is threatening they'll come overnight and come and cut it in the night. I dare you people to do it. We will not let this happen.
I also cannot understand why the commissioner of the BDA is not coming here to talk to the press, talk to us. What is he hiding behind? Why is the minister for the city government not coming on media and talking? Why are the other people in the government who are not even our party, who are not even involved in this subject, giving opinions on this subject? We want to talk to the commissioner of the BDA, and we want him to come and explain what is the rationale behind this project. The BBMP engineering chief has gone on record yesterday saying that the project, when they estimated it, costs 800 crores. When it goes to the BDA, it becomes 1300 crores. And when the government decides to take a decision, it becomes 1800 crores. I mean, who are we fooling here? We do not want this project. This project has to be cancelled. We will talk about solutions and possible mitigation later. First, cancel the project. That's a very clear message. We don't want to sit and discuss this. 8,000 people in the city have said so, and lakhs of people in the city are following this subject. All of us are unequivocally saying, Beda, we don't want this project.
And we could continue to debate this as much as we want, but the truth is there's no response to be asked here right now, other than just to say no. The Chief Minister needs to come out today, acknowledge his citizens, and just say that you are scrapping this flyover completely.
It's not
a debate.
No, please listen to me. It's not the Chief Minister. See, the people who are trolling on Twitter are actually politicians. Not a single expert has stood up in defense of this government. They're getting trollers to come and do it. You know, party spokespeople are saying, making personal allegations on people who have come out to protest. What does it show? It just shows that you have lost any semblance of a debate here. We don't want to talk to you people at all. Actually, we'll go as a small delegation to the Chief Minister and seek his help and say, look, the people around you, you should not trust. These are disgusting people. Stop this project, sir. Because you're a mass leader, you have stakes in Karnataka. These people are actually just fly-by-night operators, sir. Don't listen to them, we want to tell you.
Hussain. Naseer Hussain, enough is enough. Why won't the government just stop?
It is somebody's and anybody's personal choice whether to believe a government or not to believe a government, whether to believe the Chief Minister or not to believe the Chief Minister. Whether somebody wants to trust someone or not trust someone is a personal choice. The government of the day is a popularly elected government. The people of Karnataka have elected the government. So it is the duty of the government to respond to its electorate. They have promised certain things to the people of Bengaluru. They have promised certain things to the people of Karnataka. So they are...
Just tell me, who are these people that we're looking at on our screen right now? Who are these people that we're looking at standing on the road in Bangalore? Are these not citizens of Bangalore? Are 8,000 people not citizens of Bangalore? Are their voices not good enough for you? Is there anything else they need to do? Do you want them to come out into the street and...
Miss D'Souza, you should allow me to... you should allow me to speak, please. You should allow me to speak.
I don't understand. If you're not going to take the voices of these citizens, then who are you waiting for, Naseer Hussain? Who is this government waiting for? You want people to come out on the street and stop traffic? Are you going to bring in your tree cutters and your bulldozers over and above the voices of these people?
You also want lakhs and lakhs of people to come out and say we want the bridge?
Please. Show me one person. I started this discussion saying, give me one person who is not part of your government.
This is turning out to be an ugly debate, Mr. Naseer. You are stepping onto a very, very wrong chord.
Nani, what are you talking?
Mr. Naseer Hussain, please.
What is
oh my God, you are asking people versus people?
People have a right to protest. People have a right to protest the government. You have a right to protest. People have right to protest. Let them protest, and the government will take into account, and government will accordingly decide. Government will accordingly decide. And I want to respond to what Mr. Pabbisetty was speaking earlier. That the DPR, we have not done a great service. But see, what I was trying to explain here. First, it started with trees. Then they said there is no DPR. Then they said the consultancy is not done. Then they said
Mr. Naseer Hussain, why was the DPR not disclosed under RTI? Mr. Naseer Hussain, why was the DPR not disclosed?
Mr. Naseer Hussain, the question is simple and clear. Why was the DPR not disclosed under RTI? What were you hiding? Why did it take a DPR that was prepared 11 months ago to be disclosed?
You listen to me first. Now you listen to me first. Now you listen to you. Please don't interrupt in the middle. Now you listen to me first. You don't interrupt in the middle.
By raising your voice, Naseer, you are not doing any favor to anybody, sir.
Mr. Naseer Hussain, the traffic problem is at Silkboard Junction. The traffic problem is in Whitefield.
One has to allow me to speak.
Go ahead. We're all listening. Go ahead.
When others were speaking, I didn't intervene in the middle because I wanted to hear them and then answer. So when I am speaking, nobody else should intervene. And in the spirit of the debate, I think that will be the right thing that the anchor can at least promise us.
Go ahead, Mr. Naseer Hussain. We are all listening.
Mr. Pabbisetty was the same person who was raising issues against the traffic, who was raising issues when the entire Bengaluru city was flooding. He was the same person who was raising issues when there were demolitions being done by BBMP and the Karnataka state government here in Bengaluru, removing encroachments on the Raju Kalaways. So you say that there is a problem, and when the government acts, you again come up with something else and say that this is not the way the government should have. So I don't know what they want. Do they want development or they don't want development in the city? They want the traffic congestion to ease out or they don't want traffic congestion to ease out. I don't understand what Minister Pabbisetty wants in Bangalore.
So we've heard you out. We've heard you out. I want rebut.
You have never understood. The question was
don't want
simple.
destruction.
One by one. That's Mr. Naseer Hussain's argument is you complained about traffic. Now we are giving you a solution. Now you're complaining about the solution. This is the simplistic argument that the state government is giving us. One by one, I want you to destroy this argument for me. R.K. Mishra, is this the solution to the traffic in Bangalore?
May I make a simple point? May I, RK, before you speak, may I ask something?
Go ahead, Prakash.
Sure.
RK. See, R.K. Mishra has given clarity from the Vision Group side. He is saying they are not in favor of the destruction of this beautiful pathway, the removal of the trees there. They're not in favor of that. He says the Vision Group, he and particularly Kiran Majumdar Shah, had suggested an alternative alignment, and BDA was to come back with it. So when the government makes a statement, we will do it no matter what, it smacks of arrogance and arbitrariness. That's what it smacks of to us. We want some clarity in that. The second thing that R.K. Mishra said is very reassuring to us, because we all supported the earlier tender-sure roads because not a tree was cut. And when they started cutting trees on Rupadunga Road, some of us became very disturbed. I'm glad some protests happened and that got stopped. Now I suspect they were trying to soften us about this chopping of trees because they wanted to do this really stupid project of the elevated, steel flyover. I'm saying we don't have an argument with Mr. Hussain there. We just have a request to him to communicate to the highest authorities in his government. We don't want this steel flyover. Idu beda. We will have a debate on a mobility solution for Bangalore city. We will just come as humble citizens and put our simple voices. We trust this government. It will call experts and will come with a solution. This is not negotiable. We will not allow this as much as possible. Whatever power we have in our lives, we will not allow this project to happen, period. Beda, ashte.
Can I say something also? This is not an argument against pro-development or anti-development. All of us want development and progress. Hello?
Go ahead, Naresh.
Yeah, go on. They can listen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can.
This is not an argument against pro-development or anti-development. This is an argument versus pro-development and anti-destruction. This project is a steel dagger in the heart of the city, which will destroy one of the most beautiful parts of Bangalore. Please have some sensitivity as a Bangalorean and don't keep giving this silly argument saying anti-development. Nobody is anti-development. We just want it to be done sensibly. with a mobility plan for the whole city and prioritize what needs to be fixed first. Just by knee-jerk responses by some one or two people thinking we'll put a steel flyover from here to there for whatever reasons God alone knows where they came up with, and outsourcing the problem to a consultant. Do you know that the BDA, which has created this project, has no mobility expert on its rolls? Who is making this tender? Whose idea is this? Is it one person in the government who says I want a road from here to there? This is not acceptable. We are a civil society. We have a lot of experts in this city. We also know what to do, what not to do. And it is not an argument against development or anti-development. Please don't use that silly argument again and again. And this steel flyover has to stop, period. Please withdraw this tender to save face, and the elections are coming very soon. Please see this is an anti-people move. 8,000 people versus 200 people. Give me a break. Please understand the sentiment of the people, be sensitive, and we really want the head of the government and the minister of the government as well as the commissioner of the BDA to come in front of us and clarify the issue if there's any further doubt. It is not about debating at all. The project is closed as of today.
Naseer Hussain, that's a very good point. Don't insult the citizens of Bangalore to say we are opposing for the sake of opposing. Bangalore has a very, very intelligent audience and a very, very intelligent citizen who comes out, understands the problem. If you look at the footage that we're looking at on our screen of the people who protested today, you will realize that these are not people who are just there to create a ruckus. They're there because they understand the problem, because they have an opinion. And Bangalore is also a city that comes out and votes in full force. Do not disregard the voices of your citizens. Do not disregard the voices of your citizens.
There is a fundamental issue also.
Okay, Mishra.
There is a fundamental issue with this flyover, and I think a fundamental issue on any solution which is a point-to-point solution. See, the problem happens, we have a jam on one junction, we create a flyover. What we do, we simply shift the jam to another flyover, the next junction. Now this is going to do exactly the same. The alternate north-south alignment which we have been proposed and which CM has announced in his own budget speech, I am surprised that why are we creating, that is from Hebbal to the Silk Board, which essentially means all people starting from Electronic City, Jayanagar, JP Nagar, HSR, Kormangla, whole of South Bangalore, Central Bangalore, Shantinagar, Langford Town and North Bangalore can go from one side of the city which is north to the other side of the city. That will benefit around 20 to 30 lakh people of the city. This flyover's catchment area is 1.5 to 2 lakh people. Now the cost of this flyover is around 263 crore per kilometer. The cost of the other flyover is 113 crore. Now it is 2.5 times, and it is going to, people don't realize, and in the first DPR which has been put by the government, which has not been revised, Mr. George has told me on phone that now they are planning to extend it to a steam mall. The original flyover, I don't know whose brilliant idea it was stopping before the Hebbal flyover. Hebbal flyover is the choke point, and you are creating an elevated flyover and dumping everybody on the same flyover which is already a choke point. So I think no mind has been applied. Some engineer somewhere had made a DPR. It has been just pushed for reasons best known to them. It is actually wrong in design, it is wrong in process, and also it is not going to serve the purpose. And of course it is destroying the environment. People are upset about it. So I don't think the government is going to get any positive point out of it. Mr. Naseer Hussain, I don't know whether he is an expert on mobility, but if there was an expert on mobility, in fact,
very good.
So I think I had a much more intelligent discussion on this with Mr. George himself, where, see, we all are very, neither Naresh nor Sridhar nor Prakash, they are not rowdies, they are not people who are there to create a ruckus, they have no political ambitions, they are not against the government. If citizens have said something, it is incumbent, that's what we call democracy. We are a democracy, you please listen to it, and I think the first promise you have put all of us in Vision Group. Vision Group has asked you to come back and tell why you cannot do the BDA alignment, the other alignment, and which has been done by your own agency. It seems BDA is saying that alignment is not feasible, which is wrong, which is a lie. Why? So please don't do it. I am not against steel, I am not against flyover, I am against this alignment, because this alignment is neither going to serve the purpose, it's going to destroy the environment, and it is extremely expensive. 263 crores per kilometer versus 112 crores per kilometer. It's our money. It's our money, taxpayers' money. Why are we wasting it?
Tanveer Ahmed.
It's not
I
your
think
money.
I think government has to relook at it.
Can I say something here? The National Highway Authority of... Can I say something here?
Go ahead, Naresh.
Can I say something? Excuse me.
Go ahead, Naresh. Go ahead, Naresh.
Today, the National Highways Authority of India, the National Highway begins at Mekhri Circle and goes to the airport. Today morning, the National Highway Authority of India has categorically rejected this proposal. The road doesn't even belong to the city, it belongs to the National Highways. How can you, what sort of situation is this, where the government does not even consult itself? It does not talk to its own people, and it is a unilateral act of the government to do this. The NHAI has rejected this proposal outright, saying it's completely unfeasible.
And we hear the BDA board is rejected.
The BDA board 3 years ago has rejected this proposal as too expensive, and the corporation BBMP has said that it will cost only 800 crores. And the Department of Urban Land Transport has said they were not consulted at all, and the police unofficially, traffic police have said that nobody has spoken.
And the Chief Minister's Vision Group says it's not been consulted.
What is the point of having, is it the project of one person here or one person in the government who is interested? We want to know who is that one person who thinks this project is a great idea. If they don't even consult themselves, forget about consulting civil society. Please withdraw this project. I appeal to the Congress government, I appeal to our mass leader, Sri Siddaramaiah, who I have respect as a wise person, who has experience in politics, who understands how to administer a state. You are being misled by people around you. Please reject them all and disregard this project. Cancel the tender today.
Today, and any other response other than cancelling the tender today, it will reek of arrogance and disrespect for the citizens of this city. Tanveer Ahmed, go ahead.
Let me just tell you first, this is Tanveer Ahmed, who's sitting here, not the national spokesperson of Janata Dal, citizen of Bangalore, who lived in Bangalore for almost 43 years, who have seen the beauty of the Bangalore, which has been destroyed by piece and cut into pieces. And second thing, I would really appreciate what Mr. Belawadi, Mr. Shetty and Narasimhan has done today. This is not mere 8,000 people. These were the concerned citizens of Bengalurians who were there. And I think Mr. Naseer Hussain needs to take back his words when he said, do you want us to get people who are going to be in favor? You are not going to put people versus people. If you put people versus people, you are definitely going to be a bigger loser, because people who voted for Congress were also standing there asking you to please take back your step. Otherwise, the repercussions are going to be very dangerous, very, very dangerous. And as Prakash said, that we dare you, I would also look into your eyes, Mr. George, Chief Minister, and the people who have given this a stupid idea to go ahead with the steel flyover. You dare doing it, and we would, as the citizen of Bangalore, we would show it that what we have to do in a peaceful, in a way which we have to protest to ensure that this voice is going to be heard across the state and beyond.
You know, Naseer Hussain, I want to point out to you that our phones are ringing off the hook, and there isn't a single phone call that has come in. Not one phone call of a single person who thinks this is a good idea. So your empty threat that you will draw out lakhs of people onto the street who think it's a good idea, I doubt you will find even one person who thinks this is a good idea. You're not certainly going to get any support from the citizens of Bangalore by insulting us and telling us that we're just creating opposition for the sake of opposition. We will not accept this kind of arrogance from the government. Sridhar Pabbisetty, respond to what Naseer Hussain said about you. He said you complained about the traffic and now you're complaining about a solution.
If there is a solution, we are all for it. All of us, every Bengalurian is today fed up of having to spend 2 to 3 to 4 hours on road going to work and coming back. Whether he will focus on living his livelihood, earning his livelihood, spending time with his family, or will he keep idling away in traffic? It bothers all of us. So Naseer Hussain, by not acknowledging the angst of the people and trivializing it by saying that we are against development is missing the point. We are all against the problem. We are with the government if they want to solve the problem. The government is not in the right mood to solve the problem. Where is a comprehensive mobility plan for the city? Can we afford spending 1,791 crores on a silly 6.7 kilometer flyover? If it was just silly, it may be some way acceptable. But as was rightly said by Naresh, it's a steel dagger into the heart of the city of Bengaluru. Why do you want to do this? You are not solving a problem. You want to splurge money. Why? Can Naseer Hussain get a qualified mobility expert to come and explain to the experts of Bengaluru on 23rd, telling why is this a brilliant idea? None of the things that they have disclosed, including the phone packaging style FAQ that they gave, convinces anybody. The DPR today also doesn't convince anybody. He wants a point-by-point rebuttal. He will have a point-by-point rebuttal in the coming week. But the whole point is saying, why don't you go back to the drawing board and say, the steel flyover.
I don't think they need to go to the drawing board. No. It means, as Prakash said, no means no. No flyover. Absolutely no flyover. Nothing doing.
Naresh, go ahead.
No. I just want to make a small point here, if I may. According to this famous DPR, which they have released with great reluctance yesterday, after hiding it for 1 year, it says that the total time saved by this flyover at peak time is 15 minutes, and at non-peak time it is 7 minutes. You mean to say we have a saying in Bangalore called "Swalpa adjust madi." You mean we cannot adjust for 15 minutes of delay? It's going to save at high peak time. That their own DPR is saying that it saves 15 minutes. I mean, Swalpa adjust madi. We'll all adjust. Don't worry. We don't want to spend 2,000 crores for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, I accept. I have no problem.
Naseer Hussain, this is typical of the people of Bangalore.
That's all. The DPR says it will save 15 minutes.
Sridhar, go ahead.
If I may just add, if I may just ask Mr. Naseer Hussain, what is the maintenance cost per year in the DPR? Because they had it for much longer than I have had. I know the number. I just want to ask Mr. Naseer Hussain, what does he think is the maintenance cost?
Naseer Hussain, all of the questions are pointing out to one thing. There is some sort of vested interest inside of this government that is insisting on this flyover despite protest and opposition from the opposition, from citizens, from experts, from urban developers, from architects, from town planners, from former engineers of the BDA who have been on this channel with you. What is the vested interest inside of this government? Who is benefiting from this flyover? Please tell us.
See, I had lost contact for almost, I think, 5-7 minutes. And the last thing which I heard was Mr. Tanveer asking me not to pitch people versus people. What I really meant was, say, when the anchor said there are 6,000 to 8,000 people on the roads protesting, the government has to listen. What I meant was, 8,000 are protesting, it is fine, it is a democratic right. Any form of protest in democracy is welcome. They have a concern and they are protesting. That is fine. I said there are also lakhs and lakhs of people who may feel or who do feel that the traffic congestion has to be eased out and they are fine with the steel flyover. Because I have been following the social media for the past so many days. So many people are interacting on social media, and many of them are telling they want this steel flyover. That is what I meant. I don't want to pitch protesters. People saying yes for flyover and people saying no for flyover. But it is for the government to take a call on the protest. They have to take a call the concern raised by these protests today. And as I told you, as I suggested and Mr. Suresh Kumar of BJP also suggested in our last discussion, that the government may call for another round of consultations with the concerned people, with the interested groups, with the
Naseer Hussain, the government may call for another round of... No. That's not good enough anymore. I'm sorry, Naseer Hussain. May call for another round of consultation is not good enough. I want you to conclusively say no. There is no other answer we want from the government anymore. Say no.
How can you say? Why should we say no? Why should we say no for a flyover in the city? Why should we say no for a flyover in the city? Why should we say no
Bengalurians don't want it, Mr. Naseer Hussain.
No,
The citizens don't want it.
See, there could be a second consultation. See, I agree with Mr. Mishra. Please hold on. See, I agree with Mr. Mishra when he says that he has suggested to Mr. George or to the government of Karnataka an alternate route. And that maybe what I mean by consultation is there could be a second round of consultation. This is my suggestion. I am not saying that the government will do this. This is my suggestion that there could be a second round of consultation with the concerned citizens. There, where not only this steel flyover, but how to ease out the traffic on that particular road can be discussed. If there is an alternate thing which comes out of the discussion, it is well and good. If that doesn't come out, if the government says that we want to go ahead, this is the best possible option that is left with us, then it is up to the government to decide. So, but telling this no, it is
citizens have said, Mr. Naseer Hussain, Bede Beda is what your citizens have said.
That is arrogance on the part of the protesters.
Arrogance on the part of the protesters. Arrogance on the part of the protesters. 8,000 citizens have come out on the street today and said Bede Beda, and you're calling the citizens arrogant?
This is the...
What is the level of arrogance of a government?
Oh my God,
Naseer Hussain is losing it.
I don't think... Thank you, Mr. Naseer Hussain, for reminding us. Let us remind... All Bengalurians would like to remind you...
Mr. Belawadi sits in the panel discussion and says, no discussion at all, that is arrogance. If you don't want a discussion, that is arrogance. Now what is that? I agree with Mr. Mishra. I agree with Mr. Narasimhan. There could be discussion, there could be more consultation. But to say no at all, that is arrogance.
Hussain, what Mr. Mishra told us is that you invited a consultation that the government then completely disregarded. Now, is that not arrogance? Is that not arrogance? Not consulting the vision group, not taking on their suggestions. Is that not arrogance?
That is what I am...
Disregarding...
Please allow me to speak. Please allow me to speak. That is exactly what I am telling.
The response here.
See, that is exactly what I am telling. When Mr. Mishra told...
Can we say something here?
Please hold on. Please hold on.
Mr. Tanveer Ahmed. Mr. Naseer Hussain, we heard you insult all the citizens of Bangalore. Now let them respond. Let them respond.
Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. You just can't put words in my mouth. You can't put words in my mouth.
Can you say something?
When Mr. Mishra said that, the government has not...
Let me just respond to a politician in a political language, please. Can I respond, Mr.
I want to give Mr. Belawadi the opportunity
Prakash,
to respond. It is his right to respond to this.
Yeah, please. He deserves more than that.
Yeah.
He deserves more than me.
Mr.
Go ahead,
Belawadi,
Prakash.
please go ahead.
No. I just want to tell Mr. Hussain, it's all very well that he is loyal to his party. Everyone should be. But I'm saying your party government has about 540 days in power. You're not going to complete this flyover project by then. If you chop off 812 trees now, let us say, in these 500 days, and then Mr. Kumaraswamy has very vocally opposed this steel flyover project. The BDA BJP Suresh Kumar has written an open letter to the Chief Minister opposing it, and he walked along today with the protesters. Now he held hands and met everybody. If a new government comes and scraps this project, because we are requesting it should be scrapped, what is the point of your insistence that you will do it regardless? Is there any sense to this, sir? I am asking. Why don't you apply common sense? Your loyalty is fine. Why don't you apply some common sense? How can you do it if your principal opposition parties oppose it? Aam Aadmi Party opposes it. Citizens of Bangalore oppose it. Experts oppose it. Nobody wants you except the 2 or 3 of you. Then how will you do it?
No, and not only that, almost all processes of government have been flouted in this process. There is a Metropolitan Planning Committee under the 74th Amendment convened just 3 months ago. There is a Metropolitan Planning Committee. This has not been placed before them. They've not been placed either in legislature. You mean to say you can spend 2,000 crores without consulting anyone? And no environmental impact assessment has been taken from the Ministry of Environment and Forests. Nobody, you mean to say that the state cabinet, which is mainly consistent of elected people, will not consult anybody else and do whatever they want? I don't think it's a feasible solution. I don't think it's a feasible argument. My request to Mr. Hussain is, please be a Bangalorean first and a politician next. I appreciate your loyalty, but be loyal to Bangalore.
In your opinion, these insults, these comments that are being traded back and forth, Naseer Hussain calling the protesters arrogant, calling those who are demanding that the steel flyover be scrapped arrogant. What is your reaction to that? I mean, for the state government to turn around and say
this really shows how these political parties think about the citizen of people.
Don't misquote me.
You said, Naseer Hussain, you said, and everybody on this panel heard you, you said loud and clear that anyone who's demanding Bede Beda is
I was responding to Mr. Belawadi when he said that the no more discussion, no more deliberation, Bede Beda flyover. That is what when he said, that shows arrogance.
So my argument to you is 8,000 people on the street today said Bede Beda. None of them said, please come out and let's discuss this. All of them said Bede Beda. All of them you are effectively calling arrogant. R.K. Mishra responds to that statement.
I was responding to Mr. Belawadi.
Mr. Belawadi represents...
I was responding to Mr. Belawadi.
Belawadi is here representing all of the protesters today.
I was at the same time... I did also...
National spokesperson of Janata Dal is saying Bede Beda. No. No means no.
In fact, let me do this. Let me open up the phone lines to citizens who want to also respond to you. Jayanti is on the phone line from Bangalore. Jayanti, I'm sorry for keeping you on hold for so long. Go ahead.
That's fine.
Do you agree with Bede Beda? Do you also want to be an arrogant citizen of Bangalore today?
I cannot believe he branded all 8,000 of us as arrogant citizens of Bangalore. We had children from the age of 4 to like elderly people of 85 and 90 standing there today and protesting. This is our city. You cannot do this. Where are the systems? Where is the process in this? Where is the sense in it? You know, it's like suddenly somebody woke up and they're like, this is how we're going to make money and this is what we're going to do and live with it. That doesn't happen. This is a democracy. How does that work? How does that work? We vote you, okay? And which is why we are given that right. So we also have that right to question you and we also have that right to stop you. So it doesn't work with one individual, which is why there were 8,000 of us today. But look at Balbrui. The same thing happened. The government wanted to do exactly what they pleased. And no, the citizens came out. The citizens stood. The citizens united against the government and it didn't happen. Okay? So I really hope the government understands that this is a plea and we are very, very serious about our city. You've cut enough trees. Bangalore is going through hell. People have allergies. The doctors are telling people they're allergic to the city. People are allergic to Bangalore. People are moving out. So please understand that you cannot do this anymore. There's too much of an environmental problem. Who cares if we're 15 minutes late to the airport? Give us better transport. Give us more buses. Give us a underground railway. Give us that. Don't give us this monstrosity. We don't deserve that. And you don't have any rights to give it to us, the citizens of Bangalore.
No right to shove a bridge down the throats of the citizens of Bangalore against their wishes. Jayanti, well said.
Especially when it ends before the Hebbal flyover. There's no sense in this. There is absolutely no common sense. You know, it's like somebody woke up, said, okay, let's work with a steel lobby, let's make some pot of money here, and let's Bangalore accept it. It doesn't work like that. We're educated people. We make an effort to come out and vote. So you cannot do this to us. You can't shove something down our throat. You cannot. It's just not accepted.
R.K. Mishra, this is a loud call of no confidence coming in from the citizens of Bangalore. Average people who came out to the street and said, we don't trust you anymore.
I think on a Sunday morning, most of the Bangaloreans are working professionals. they have busy lives. Sunday is the only day. If they have chosen to come out, and let's not go into the number, it was 2,000, 8,000. 8,000 is a very big number. I mean, of course, Bangalore has 1 crore. But imagine people going from Whitefield to Mekhri Circle. It is a 2-hour job and people have gone. So I think this is an expression of concern of citizens, and I am very sure, I have no doubt that government is going to seriously reconsider this, and I will do whatever we can do as part of the vision group and the advisory committee. I think citizens' concerns are genuine, and also the bigger point is it is not solving the real problem. The real problem is not from Hebbal to Chalukya. Hebbal to Chalukya, I mean, that's why people is calling it VIP flyover. What is Chalukya? It's all Vidhan Saudha and all that. And what is Hebbal and beyond is airport? So it's essentially evacuating Vidhan Saudha towards the airport. It's fine, you can have a VIP flyover, but not at the cost of 812 trees and against the citizens' wish. So I think, I am very confident Mr. George and Chief Minister would take due note of it. Enough concern has been expressed in media and on the road today, and I think something will come out of it. I think so.
Lines are still open for citizens who want to call us and be part of this conversation. We're going to try and patch as many. Priya's on air right now. Priya, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, hi, this is Priya.
Can I say something here? No, can I ask Mr. Tanveer to respond from a political perspective?
Somebody's called.
Yeah, all right. Priya, very quickly, and then I'll bring the panelists in to respond to you. Priya.
Yes, I think the voice in the Bangalore is getting louder for a big no to the steel flyover. I think politicians have to, come down and negotiate with us. It's very, very important that the tree should not be felled at any cost. In fact, there is an architect there, and then there are technicians there who design the flyover without felling the trees. Thank you for letting me voice my views over this phone. Thank you.
Can I say something to Priya, please? Can I say something to Priya?
Go ahead, Tanveer.
Priya, we don't need to negotiate with you. We have to just fold our hands and oblige to whatever you are saying. That is what politicians are meant to do. They are going to listen to the citizens who have concern and who are not going to negotiate with the citizens. They have to just, with the folded hand, needs to accept it. That's it.
But all right, Priya, thank you for that response. Our phone lines continue to be open. And remember, I started this panel discussion saying...
I think Narasimhan had a question for me.
Yes. I started this panel saying anybody who's watching right now, who is not part of the Karnataka government, who wants to right
Tanveer,
now that you're for the...
Tanveer, I want to understand. Tanveer, I want to understand...
She'll say, go ahead. Tell them you have to wait.
Go ahead. Naresh, go ahead.
Tanveer, can I speak?
Yes,
Tanveer, I wanted you are in politics. We are just common people. I cannot even understand the response of Mr. Hussain or the rest of the party spokespeople. You are in politics. Please explain to the viewers what is the political reason why they are not willing to cancel this project. What do you think is the political reason?
First and foremost is in the arrogance not to listen to the vision group, neither to the authorities, not to the experts of the city. One. Second part, they all know that this is the last frontier of Congress government, and Karnataka is the last frontier. They want to really showcase that they are doing a lot of development work so that they could revive some political benefits in other states. And third and important part, I think as a responsible politician, I would say there is a lot of economics involved.
Well, I don't understand what sort of brownie points the government is trying to win if everybody is against this flyover right now. Who are the brownie points going to come in from?
What does economics? What does lot of economics mean?
What does economics mean?
Sir, we all are very matured to understand that how the projects are really made, how the cost prices goes high.
There's no need
R.K. Mishra clearly pointed out.
Tanveer Ahmed, there's no need to be polite about it. If you are suggesting that people of the government stand to make money from putting out these tenders, then come out and
corruption.
Say it.
There is absolute corruption.
Naseer Hussain, respond to that.
Do you want me to be much more open than this?
Well, somebody had to say.
I can only. I can only say that Mr. Tanveer Ahmed is a national spokesman. See, there's some echo happening in your this thing. You please get it corrected. See, I can only say this, that Mr. Tanveer Ahmed is a national spokesperson of JDS. The JDS has been in power several times in the state of in our state. So if every development project, if every infrastructure project is done only to earn money or is done only because there will be cuts, so I am just I am afraid then no government can take up any development work, no government can take up any infrastructure work. This is what I can say to Mr. Tanveer Ahmed, so that our viewers can listen. This is
Can I respond?
There can be no development work at all.
No, sir,
any infrastructure project.
If it is only
1800 crores, this is only 1800 crores. I think that Shirdi Ghat program, I think that is much more bigger a project. There have been projects much more of volume than this. So if that was only for the cuts, then there could be no development, no infrastructure project at all in Karnataka.
Can I respond?
Tell me how much? Yes.
Can you? One second. Can you answer Mr. R.K. Mishra? How does 130 crores becomes 260 crores? How does 800 crores becomes 1,300 crores? And then it comes to 1,800 crores. Can you explain this, please?
I have to leave.
Okay, we're running out of time on this debate, and I want to quickly bring in all of the voices one more time to just respond to what Naseer Hussain is saying, and he's circling back that one point that you're all anti-development, and if this sort of thing continues, we'll never be able to develop the city at all. But there is a process in place. You have a vision group. We are
anti-destruction.
RK Mishra.
And we are arrogant also.
Are we all arrogant, anti-development tree huggers, as the government is calling us right now?
No, I think we should not see. We all are citizens. We'll have to stay together. This government, next government, and all that. So we should not create a very acrimonious environment. And I'm sure people are upset. That's why they come on the streets. And government, I think any popularly elected government will take due note. So I have no doubt about it. And let's not call names each other and things like that. And I think it's an emotive issue also, because a lot of people feel very strongly for environment. And my biggest thing is that it's not going to solve the problem, and if it's not going to solve the problem, why go with it? So I think there will be a serious concern, and I think there will be a rethink within the government. I have no doubt about it.
Well, that's something that we're going to hope that. Naseer Hussain, can you give us a commitment that the government will roll this back right now? That the government will roll this back right now.
See, I can't give a commitment that the government will roll this back.
We're having this discussion with us.
No, I can't give a commitment that the government will roll this back. I can can't give a commitment that the government will roll this back. I can only agree with Mr. Mishra that there could be more consultations. The government can think over on what other ways can be taken up to ease the traffic on the roads, that there could be more consultation, there could be more discussion. I don't want to give a commitment on behalf of the government, because the government has not authorized me to give a commitment that they are rolling it back. The government will certainly take into account the views of the concerned citizens of Bengaluru, the protests that are going on. They will take all the views, all the concerns, all the demands, and maybe they will have more consultations in the future. This is one. Second, please don't misquote me by telling that I have said that people are anti-development. When Mr. Tanveer raised that there is money involved in this, there is corruption involved in this, I said that if there is corruption, if every project that comes up, if people cast aspersions by saying that there is money involved, so there is corruption involved, then I said then there could be no development work at all. If that is the view of any one political party, there could be no development after that. Nobody will go ahead and do some development work. If every project is cast with aspersion by saying that there is money involved, so there is corruption in that. So I think that was what I said. So please don't misquote me. I think my final suggestion is the government can and should take up further consultations, further discussions, maybe with the Vision Group, maybe with the Bangalore Metropolitan Planning Committee, maybe with the people concerned, with this flyover, with the environment, and maybe in the days to come they can come up with their answers, with the government's answer to the citizens of Bengaluru. That is what I can say.
The thing about it is that this sort of protest has gone on for 2 months now, and we've had very weak responses from the government. And even after this morning's protest, there's been no response from where is Mr. KJ George? Where is Mr. KJ George, the Minister for the city of Bangalore, who has not even responded to the press today after this morning's protest? This should have been his top priority. What could have been more important than 8,000 citizens of the city that you are personally responsible for, who are voicing their opinion? You've not even responded. We've not seen him this morning. We've not heard from him this morning. I appreciate the fact that Naseer Hussain, that you've been told that you are not authorized to comment. But where are the people who are authorized to comment? Why are they not responding to our phone calls? Why are they not responding to their citizens? What sort of a minister is KJ George if he doesn't come out and then quickly respond to 8,000 citizens? Vidya's on the phone line from Bangalore. Vidya, go ahead.
I have just one question to ask. Why is the government shying away from answering certain basic questions? There are always checks and balances in a large, vibrant democracy like ours, like there'll be tree huggers, there'll be lake protectors, there'll be many checks and balances and many activist groups. But why can't we answer a question which is basic to say, why aren't all the stakeholders spoken to? Why isn't everybody's view taken in? We don't want to oppose development, as they call it in quotes. Nobody opposed the Delhi Metro project, which took away hundreds of trees, which dug through main promenades of the city. Why are we bent on spoiling, like we spoiled the MG Road of Bangalore? Why are we bent on spoiling another main promenade of Bangalore? Why deface it? We know that elevated structures can only stay for 15 years. What happens beyond that? Why are you creating an elitist corridor for the VIP movement? Why don't you look at alternates? This is the basic question that the citizens are asking.
The basic question, Naseer Hussain, my demand is that KJ George, Mr. KJ George, Minister of Bangalore, come out and respond to the media and to the citizens right away. His silence, the longer he sits in silence, makes it look worse. We demand a commitment that this plan in its current form be rolled back entirely, and any sort of further plan the government considers takes into consideration the voices of all of its citizens. Bangalore is a city that is very familiar with the internet. If you do an actual campaign asking people to come forward and vote for or against, you will get the largest turnout of citizen voices you will get anywhere else in the country. There is no reason why the government can't action a program like that and recalibrate all of the voices of the city. This current plan needs to be rolled back. KJ George needs to come out and speak to us. I demand that he comes out and speak to us.
Ms. Fair, I think last time when we were discussing, you did play on your own television channel Mr. KJ George's comments, I think he's not shying away from media. He is not shying away from people of Bengaluru. He is a person who is elected by the people of Bengaluru. He is an MLA from Bengaluru. And he is in charge of development in the city. He is not shying away. He has spoken to your own channel. Your own channel played his bites before we started the discussion last time, I think. So why are you telling that he is shying away from media?
Why he has not responded to today's protest, Mr. Hussain? Why has he not responded to today's protest? 8,000 people on the road.
He will respond.
Okay, I have to, folks, I have to leave.
Ma'am,
I have to leave.
Ma'am,
Okay,
it doesn't happen.
R.K. Mishra had to leave the conversation. Go ahead, Naseer Hussain.
See, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. There's a protest going on and the minister comes and talks to them there itself, and a chief minister comes and talks to there itself. They have their own mechanism as how they talk to the protester, how they take their concerns, how they call for a discussion with the people those are concerned with a particular issue or a particular project. There are ways and procedures through which the government responds. I think definitely he has taken, he must have taken into account the ongoing protest, and I'm sure he will definitely respond to them. And
Prakash Belawadi, Naresh Narasimhan, have you received contact from the state government asking you for a conversation after this morning's protest? Have either of you, as organizers of this protest, received any?
And I want to say something very clear. I think the most arrogant statement of today morning is calling 8,000 people of the city an arrogant protest. I mean, Are you a political party elected by the people or are you elected by yourself? Come on, you're calling 8,000 people from the age of 5 to the age of 90. That was the age range. And that is the most arrogant statement I have heard till today.
I want to respond.
Please don't call us arrogant.
I want to respond. I want to respond, please. Please allow me to talk. Did I call all the protesters arrogant? Did I call you arrogant? Did I call Mr. Mishra arrogant?
That's what you said.
When all the people in the panel discussion were telling that, please allow me to speak. Please allow me to speak. I only said the approach of Mr. Belawadi, who said that there's nothing doing, no, we don't want to discuss at all. I said that is arrogance. That is arrogant. The people, those who are there on the street, they are asking for a discussion. They are asking for a consultation.
Mr. Hussain.
Asked for a consultation. You asked for a consultation.
Mr. Hussain.
You also asked for a consultation. You also asked for a consultation. I didn't call you arrogant. I didn't call anybody arrogant.
He didn't ask.
Neither
I
am
want
calling
to
Mr.
respond.
Belawadi arrogant. I said that his approach is arrogant.
Mr. Hussain. Mr. Hussain.
Yeah, please.
I apologize to you if I came came across to you as arrogant. I humbly request you to tell your leader, our leader, Mr. Siddaramaiah, to cancel the tender.
Cancel the tender in its current form. Naseer Hussain, you might want to backtrack from your words as much as you like, but you said anybody who's saying beda is arrogant.
No, I'm not backtracking. See, I'm
saying beda.
Miss Fai, I didn't say that. Please don't put words in my mouth. Please don't put words in my mouth. I was responding to Mr. Belawadi. He said that he doesn't want to trust anybody in the government. He said that he will trust only the chief minister. People around him, that means Mr. George is not trustworthy. That means that all the cabinet ministers are not trustworthy. See, this is what he meant in his earlier
you're taking us a political debate, mister, with Prakash Belawadi, who is just a concerned citizen. Let us not have a political debate with Mr. Prakash.
Don't want to discuss anything.
No, Mr. Prakash is not a politician. Mr. Prakash is not a politician.
You know what?
Mr. Prakash is a concerned citizen.
Belawadi holding up that board.
If you want to take it as a debate on a political front, let's have one.
I said for that particular point. No. Now what about political point?
Naseer Hussain, Prakash Belawadi holding up that board on my panel today represents all the protesters.
There are so many citizens who are saying beda.
Say, if I may just say.
Are you not saying, Mr. Shetty?
If I may just say, let's see what is arrogance. The arrogance here is hiding the DPR for 11 months. And then giving out 36 hours ago before a big protest and saying that, oh, you asked for it, here it is. Isn't that arrogance, Mr. Hussain? What kind of irresponsible government is this? And you want to come on in the studio and say when citizens are not happy with the way the government has acted, you want to call them arrogant?
And Prakash
Where is your arrogance?
Represents all of the
Is this your accountability?
Prakash Belawadi on this panel represents all of the citizens today.
You tell me, what are you speaking? Who is calling the protesters arrogant?
All of us. If you call him arrogant for holding up that board and that board says no beda, it is something that you're saying to every citizen who came out to protest today. And we will all take it personally, Naseer Hussain.
Miss
Chetan is on the phone line from Bangalore. Chetan.
Please don't put words in my mouth. Please don't put words in my mouth. Please don't put words in my mouth. I reacted to the way he spoke.
Chetan, go ahead. Chetan.
Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Chetan Singh. I am from Bangalore. I was born here. I'm continuing to stay here. I'm going to stay for a long time. Bangalore is a city crying for infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
Something is happening, which may be right or wrong. We just need to put ourselves together and work out something quick, fast and viable. I know this place since I was born, this place where the steel flyover is coming. It is a chock-a-block in the CBD. It is a nightmare for people to commute to North Bangalore and CBD and, to other places. Instead of just, going loggerheads with the government, we know what our government is and we know what some of the people sitting in the panel are. Let us be honest. We cannot confront. Sunday is an off day. It is also fashionable to come and, join hands and form chains and, go on WhatsApp and Facebook.
Chetan,
Yeah.
have you studied the plan that the government has put out?
Madam, I have seen this. I have been seeing it in the paper, and I have been talking to people about this. We need something quick and fast.
So what does the plan say? What does
Fast,
the plan
okay,
say?
Chetan, quick and
What
fast.
does the plan
Okay,
say?
I just want to understand. I want to understand your opinion, Chetan. I want to understand your opinion. How many people will benefit from this flyover, and how much time will it save them? Will it save time for the people who get stuck at KR Bridge every day? Will it save time for the people who get stuck at Silk Boat Junction every day? Will it save time for the people who get stuck near Alsur Lake every day? Who's going to benefit from this flyover? From what you've read in the newspaper so far.
And what does he mean by fashionable?
We are not going to put steel flyovers in all the places that you have mentioned.
What is
the question is,
whether it is a steel flyover or whether it is a concrete flyover, we need something quick and fast because something is going to happen in the city. I have stayed here for such a long time, and thank God something has come up. People are discussing something viable. Please let us have something viable, which is
Chetan, do you realize that all urban planners will tell you, that if you put up a flyover, people buy more cars. When people buy more cars, you add to the traffic. Okay, every time you put up a flyover, it encourages people to buy more cars. Now you're putting up a flyover in an area that doesn't need the flyover as much as other parts of the city. You have flouted every process in place. That is the debate we are having today. But I will. Okay, let me allow other people.
Please come and take a look during peak hours what this area is.
Everybody on this panel is aware of what that area is. Naresh, do you want to respond to him? Naresh?
Every area is like that. Why only your area?
No, I want to thank Mr. Chetan for calling us fashionable. Nobody has ever said that to me before. Thank you.
Can we?
I am fashionable and arrogant.
Okay. All right, Chetan, thank you for calling us. I want a closing argument. I just want closing statements from all of our panel because I have to wrap this up. My demand is that A, the government rolls this back entirely. B, the government comes out and acknowledges the protests that happened today, which we still haven't seen happen officially from the state government. Naseer Hussain has told us it takes time. There is a process. Please speed up that process and acknowledge what your citizens have said to you today. Tell us that we have been heard. Tell us that you will roll this back. Tell us that beta means something that you understand. No means no. Naresh, your closing argument.
I can only appeal to the Chief Minister once again and say that please cancel this project, sir. We will hold you in great respect, and we know that you will listen to the pulse of the citizen. We know that you listen to the voice of the citizen. This is not a project that's required for Bangalore at this time. There are many other priorities. We are all happy to come and sit across the table and discuss a mobility plan for Bangalore. And I think the government is smart enough to understand that when 8,000 people say no, it really means no. Cancel the tender today.
Sridhar Pabbisetty.
I do hope the Congress government realizes that citizens have rights and governments have responsibility to oblige to what the citizens are saying. Point number one, the DPR, the first win for the citizens of Bangalore is that the DPR is out in the public domain. Not because of largesse of the state government, it's because of their, it became inevitable that they had to release this 36 hours before the protest. I hope the arrogant government will now change its attitude. Point number two, a due public consultation that is effective and deliberate is the need of the hour. The government should come talk to the citizens and explain to them why they think this is a solution and what problem they are solving. The citizens are unable to see what is this whole miracle all about. So the government has to have the humility to come and discuss with the citizens and share with it the plans, take back feedback from the citizens and incorporate it. Third, do not bypass constitutional authorities like the Metropolitan Planning Committee. At last, after so many days, I heard Naseer Hussain mention the Metropolitan Planning Committee. Thank God for it, and I do hope he takes back the message to the government to put this in front of the Metropolitan Planning Committee. I agree with Chetan's angst of saying that yes, there is traffic jam everywhere. There is traffic jam not just in this corridor. There is traffic jam everywhere. A comprehensive mobility solution should be the way forward for this, and I hope the government wakes up to it.
Tanveer Ahmed.
And yes, no steel flyover, please.
Finally, again, I would just like to say that I have come as a citizen of Bangalore. If this flyover project goes through, we would definitely needs to come on a larger number. The sleeping government needs to be really, we have to make them hear the concern of the citizens of Bengaluru, and those 812 trees are a home for more than million birds who stays there. This is really not done. This is really not done. The government needs to consider the request, the plea, and the honest suggestions of the citizens of Bangalore.
Prakash Belawadi, I'll give you the final word on this panel, and I also want to thank you for coming in to represent the citizens of Bangalore on a Sunday morning. I apologize for any personal remarks that have been made on this panel against you. Please tell us what your demand is from this government.
No, thank you very much for calling me, and it's too high an honor to call me a representative of the people of any nature. I just want to say this: there is a horrendous traffic problem in Bangalore. We need to find quick and effective solutions. We need to do it in a consultative process that involves real experts in mobility, real structural and design experts, and something that is cost effective and viable in the long term. So I say, cancel this tender, this hurriedly drawn up plan, because it's not trustworthy and nobody is accepting it. Nobody of any merit is accepting it. 2, call for a broader consultation that involves all kinds of experts who have to go into it with due diligence and due process. And 3, do it with great transparency, have the widest possible consultation on this with the public. Without their buy-in, it cannot be done. For now, the request is only, please cancel this tender. Roll it back. No means beda, means no.
No, beda means beda. That's the call coming out from citizens right now of Bangalore on this. It's very simple. Just cancel the plan that you have. Prove to us that you hear our voices. Prove to us that you understand what your citizens want. And I want to play out voices of citizens that we gathered this morning, Naseer Hussain, just to drive home our point. We have a lot of voices, and I want you to hear those voices.
Our concern is not only this. We are trying to save 800 trees, which are very old grown trees in Bangalore, and it's a kind of lung space, and because of this we are having oxygen in this city. And one more thing is, this project was sanctioned without consulting traffic experts.
They are cutting around 800 trees and cost is too much. So we are not in favor.
We feel that the metro is much cheaper. We can have a railway line straight from the city station going to Yelahanka and near Devanhalli. So when we can have these cheaper options, why is the government asking for this horrible structure which is going to come in the heritage part of Bangalore?
Somewhere 6,000 to 8,000 members have come down here, and the stretch has actually gone till Mekhri Circle. So probably we are extending our support for this kind of good cause. So no political parties are here to be. If you can just see, there's no political parties. Though it's a controversial statement, that's okay. And we are here to support Namma Bengaluru.
I have lived for 45 years in this city. I'll maybe live for another 20-30 years. But if we build it, I will make the city unlivable for my daughter who is 16. She will not live in Bangalore. She will go somewhere else.
It is not for the public, general public, it is for the very few people. Please look into it very carefully, have a big meeting, discuss it seriously, then put it into practice.
We've run out of time, but on Magicbricks Now, we stand with the citizens of Bangalore. Beda means beda, no means no. We will not back down until the government rolls back this plan entirely. And if you really, really must build something, start from scratch again. This channel stays open to voices from citizens who want to call us and be part of this campaign. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/MagicBricksNow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at MagicBricksNow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/MagicBricksNow.